Hello and welcome to the two-man power trip of wrestling and the latest podcast. I am your host, JP John Poz. With me today, of course, is the former head writer for the WWF and WCW, the former WCW World Heavyweight Champion,
Right.
Mr. Vince Russo. Vince, what's going on? How you doing
What
today,
is
sir?
going on, my friend John? How are you today?
Doing good. What's going on? I see you're not too happy with some of the professional wrestlers in the professional wrestling business.
Yeah,
That's what it seems like it's
bro,
doing.
I'm so it's ridiculous. And bro, listen, I didn't just start saying this. I have been saying this for years. Okay, somewhere along the lines, the marks in the ring have convinced themselves that wrestling is real. And they go out there, bro, and they do crazy spots. You know, according to Kenny Omega, him and Osprey agreed to drop him straight on his head, according
Yep.
to which is BS, bro. They botched the spot. Okay, and he's trying to cover it by saying, "Oh no, we planned it that way." Bro, I really hope you botch the spot, because if that's what you two guys plan to do, you're freaking idiots. You're absolute idiots. And my point is, bro, if you guys want this to be real so badly, then go out there and wrestle for real. Like who's stopping you? Let's see how tough you guys really are. I mean, if you're going to tell Will Ospreay to drop you on your head as a work, bro, then go out there and wrestle for real. You guys think you're tough, you know, the strong style and all this Japanese bullshit. Go out there and do it for real, and let's find out how tough you guys really are. It's that simple, bro. Wrestling wasn't meant to be real. Wrestling is a work, bro, and you protect your opponents. You don't deliberately drop them on their heads, bro.
It actually isn't a botch. It's a real spot. They stole it from Japan, from Misawa and Kawada, two Japanese. It's called the Tiger Driver 91. If you ever seen it, literally,
Yeah.
they dropped the guy directly on his head, which obviously led to a lot of neck injuries for those
Yeah,
guys over there
I'm
years
going to
later.
change the name of that to Two Idiots 2023. Okay, bro, that's going to be the new name. You guys are freaking idiots. Like and then you know, Omega comes out with people criticizing his match. You know, F off. Why, bro? Because we don't want you to break your neck? You think I give a crap whether you botch the spot, you plan the spot? You think I really care? You think I care that much about your wrestling match? No, bro, but silly me, yeah, bro, I do care about you breaking your neck or winding up dead or winding up in a wheelchair. I can't help that. That's my knee-jerk reaction. I can't tell you how many times, John, when I'm doing Lions, Tigers, Bears, and Head with Al Snow, and we're showing all these horrible botched spots, I have to look away. I can't even look at them, bro. I don't, and this is one of the reasons why I don't watch AEW. I don't watch wrestling, bro, to see people get hurt. That's not, and when I was watching wrestling, when I was doing the show with PJ before you,
Yep.
I'm watching this show, and the whole time I'm watching this show, I'm like, somebody's going to break their neck, somebody's going to be paralyzed. That's not enjoyment for me. I mean, I want to know when these wrestlers are wrestling that it's as safe as possible. I want to know that.
I love that match. I know you would hate it, obviously, Omega and Osprey. I thought it was great. But on the other side of things, did you see Sting in AEW, how he got hurt?
Ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. Bro, you know what it reminds me of, John? I don't think I ever told you this story, but when I was secretly consulting for TNA,
Yep.
okay, I had a conversation with Bubba. And Bubba told me he was going to put Dixie Carter through a table. Now, bro, if you know Bubba, you know two things. Number one, the reason he's doing it is to get Bubba over. It's all about Bubba. And bro, listen, every wrestler should have that mentality. Every single one. So I understood that. He wanted to get himself over. And number two, I also understood this. Bubba is not reckless. And Bubba was going to take care of Dixie, you know, 100%. I knew that too. But I also knew number 3. Bro, Dixie had never taken a bump in her life. This isn't the first bump you should be taking, because I know she's going to be as nervous as hell. She's going to tense up. She's going to tighten up. And when you do that, bro, the injury, the risk of injury increases. So I called her and I'm like, Dixie, you can't do this. And she got hot at me. And bro, what was the whole reason? She would never say this, but the whole reason behind her wanting to do this was, in her mind, to earn the respect of the Mark fans who had been burying her for the last 10 years. And it's just like Sting. Like, I don't know what Sting thinks he has to prove to anybody. He is one of the greatest of all freaking time. Like, what are you doing? You know, it's like John, you know, a couple of years ago when I went to see, you know, McCartney in concert. Bro, I'm going to see McCartney in concert just to literally be in the same building as the guy. I don't think I'm seeing McCarthy circa 1963, bro. I know I'm not seeing that guy. I want to be able to say I saw Paul McCartney wrestle. And wrestling fans should want to say I saw Sting wrestle. So, bro, getting back to Dixie, I said, you can't do this, Dixie. You're going to get hurt. She got hot at me. How dare you tell me what I can and cannot do? So, like, at that point, I'm like, then go ahead and do the freaking spot, you know? So, sure enough, bro, she does the freaking spot. Radio dead for days. I don't hear anything from her. Then, sure enough, I find out whether it was her assistant or somebody that told me Dixie broke her back in several places. And I'm like, oh, of course she did. Like, what do you think? I don't know what the freak I'm talking about, bro. So like I said, John, listen, and I'm talking about me. I'm not speaking for anybody else. When I watch a wrestling show and the risk of injury is high, I don't want to see it. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch people get. That's why I'm not an MMA guy, bro. I don't watch MMA. I don't like seeing people get hurt. You know, boxing was a little different, bro, because they're exchanging punches. You got a referee, and you know, usually when somebody was out on their feet, like, they would stop the match immediately. But like, UFC is a sport where, you know, you throw something on somebody, you know, they got a broken leg, they got a broken arm, they got a broken neck before the referee can stop the fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not into that, bro. And I just don't understand the mentality, John, because I learned this a long time ago. Man, if you are a professional wrestler, you have a window to make money. And the key is to extend that window for as long as possible. You only have so many moves in you. You only have so many matches in you. And it's going to come to the point, bro, where you're not going to be able to wrestle. So, okay, bro, what do we do at that point? Are we doing conventions every Friday and Saturday for the rest of our lives? Are we getting another job? I just it's like I said, bro. If that, like you said, if that's the Tiger Driver, what you two are idiots. And bro, I actually interviewed Will Ospreay once, and I liked him very much, and we got along very well. And you know, then I started criticizing that style of work, and of course, you know, I was unfollowed and blocked and all that bullshit. But it's like you guys are just freaking idiots, man. What can I say?
It is crazy, some of the risks that they take out there. And then, like you said, with Sting, like, definitely doesn't need to be doing that at 64. From the top rope to a table on the floor, actually from a ladder to the table to the floor. Oh, it was crazy.
I mean, it's like what for? Are people going to respect Sting any more than they do because he did that? I mean, like that.
I don't know what his thought process was. Yeah.
I don't either, bro. I don't. I remember, bro. The last phone conversation I had with him was after the Buckle bombs. And he told me flat out, bro, his doctor told him to never wrestle again. I mean, he told me that flat out. And remember, he didn't wrestle for a long time.
Yep.
And he said, bro, my doctor said that my wrestling days are over. And here we are doing stuff like that. Whatever, bro.
It is crazy. Now, do you watch SmackDown now at all, or no? You still don't watch SmackDown? Okay, interesting. So you're not really seeing the good stuff. So you don't watch Roman Reigns and the Bloodline.
No, I'll watch, bro. Like I'll tell you what I probably watch because it just comes up on my YouTube feed. You know, bro. I'm like, bro. I don't sleep at night, and you know, there's shit on TV like late at night. So I will always just go watch YouTube on TV at night. And you know, bro, like the wrestling highlights, of course, are going to come up because YouTube knows, you know. So I'll usually see the Bloodline segment every week because that's one that always does come up. That honestly, bro, that's really all I'll see of SmackDown every week.
Roman, pretty damn good. If you actually look at the ratings, especially the quarter hour ratings, when he's on,
Yeah,
like it goes up to 2.9 million, 3 million. Like he does pretty damn good
yeah.
in the quarter hour ratings. Like he's a star.
Yeah, no, I like the low blow and all that. I watched that. I thought, and I'm a huge fan of Roman Reigns. Right? I think Roman Reigns is a star, and everybody should strive to be Roman Reigns. And what is Roman Reigns doing, bro? He's doing a spear and a Superman punch. Okay, that's what he's doing. I mean, if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, I don't know what will.
I feel like with him, he's like mastered the quote unquote WWF main event style of wrestling. Hulk Hogan kind of
Absolutely.
invented it, so to speak. Steve Austin had it. The Rock had it. And the matches, the crowd goes nuts for the finish for his matches. So it's like he's mastered what those guys mastered.
Absolutely. Well, you know what it is, John? Here's what it is. Bro, this is what I'm seeing a lot these days. It's the tail wagging the dog. Okay, bro? You either control the crowd or the crowd is controlling you. And if you're doing all these dangerous, unnecessary monkey spots, the crowd is controlling you. When Roman Reigns says, "No, bro, this is my match, and I'm going to do A, B, C, and D," and you're going to react, Roman Reigns is controlling the crowd, just like you said. I know you're a big Hogan guy, just like Hogan, bro. That's the difference with the pro, bro. It's like it's like Madonna used to do this all the time, bro. People used to get so pissed off at Madonna in her prime because during when she was in concert, everybody wanted her to play all the hits. And Madonna was like, "No, I don't. I'm tired of playing the hits. I got some new music and I want to play my new music." And she played her new music. She controlled the fans. They didn't control her, bro.
I noticed in a few of Reigns' matches, he doesn't start right away, and the crowd just gets more and more restless. He's like, "I start when I want to start," like, and he won't
Exactly.
lock up.
That's a
Yeah.
pro, bro. That is a pro.
I like how he does a lot of the Hogan, even the Hogan heel stuff, like the talking to the crowd, talking to the opponent, extra loud, like so everybody kind of gets into it. Then he'll make fun of the crowd, like just simple stuff, but it gets lost in the shuffle. I feel like, but he gets the most heat on the show. He's the most popular guy on the show.
Absolutely, without a doubt, bro. Without a doubt.
Is it weird? He's also the number one merchandise seller, and he's the heel, or has it changed so much? It
Nah,
doesn't
bro,
matter.
because everybody wants to be Roman Reigns. That's a great traditional heel, bro. When there was a cool traditional heel, everybody wanted to be them. And so no, that does not surprise me at all. At all.
I was looking at the other top merchandise sellers. So it's Roman Reigns is number one. Cody Rhodes, I think, was two. Stone Cold Steve Austin was three, which is
God
the
bless them.
NWO was four.
God bless them, bro, that they're
Right?
still getting a check. That is. But bro, that's what I'm talking about. That's what what did Kevin Nash do in the ring? And here
Right.
he
Nothing.
is,
Yeah.
bro, still collecting a paycheck. That's what I'm talking about, bro.
That's that great thing. The five moves, or whatever, the flipper punch,
Yeah,
the
the
power
knees,
bomb.
the knees in
Yeah.
the corner. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, man.
And the fifth guy was LA Knight. I was shocked about that. He's super popular. And everyone is saying kind of whose act is he doing? He's very reminiscent of The Rock.
Yeah. And bro, listen, let's face it, man. These audiences today, bro, these mark audiences, these niche audience, bro, they've turned it into flavor of the month. I mean, they really have. An LA Knight is now flavor of the month. And 3 months from now, somebody else will be flavor of the month. And part of that, John, comes with not controlling the crowd. Because when you look at Rock, when you look at Austin, when you look at, Hogan, bro, these guys were on top for a decade, and Hogan decades. These guys were on top for forever. There was no flash in the pan, bro, because they elongated, that popularity. They knew how to control the situation where they weren't a flash in the pan. Here's a perfect situation, bro. Freaking Seth Rollins. This guy gets so caught up in the people singing that he doesn't turn them on and off. And now you're at home watching this, and now they're singing for the third time and the fourth time, and he's doing this, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what's going to happen, Seth? People are going to get sick of that. Just like they got sick of the NWO at the end because there was no newness to it and there was no freshness to it. So you're playing off of the fans singing. It interrupts the matches. It interrupts the flow of the show. You go to it 4 or 5 times, and these fickle fans, bro, they're going to get tired of it. Bro, do you think, let's be honest, John, is Becky Lynch as over as she once was? Is Sami Zayn as over as he was with the Bloodline? Because, bro, if you don't keep evolving the act, people are going to get sick. Bro, I remember, John, every freaking TV I would go to, every TV, Rock had a new catchphrase. He would pull me to side, Rue. He used to call me Rue all the time. What do you think about this? Every freaking time he had a different catchphrase. That's what I mean, bro, about, you being the ringleader, and that opposed to the people leading you. Big difference. And like you said, bro, that's why Reigns is on top.
It is funny, though. Once Sami Zayn stopped working with the Bloodline and Roman, not as over. Kind of tells you something. Like, obviously, it was more Roman, who, by the way, Roman in an interview like a year ago or so said, I'm getting this guy over because I like him a lot. He's a good backstage guy. He's a good wrestler. I'm going to get this guy over. And guess what? He got the guy over.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Yep.
And he also said he was going to bring his family up with him. And guess who's getting a huge push? All of his family. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
He's one of the rare guys that gets other guys over instead of himself. I mean, obviously himself too, but I mean, he gets Solo, the Usos, Drew, Sammy, Kevin, Cody, getting all these guys over.
Absolutely. He's a pro. That's a pro. And bro, see, that's the thing. He knows what he's doing. He knows and he knows, bro, he needs to get people over in order to keep himself over. Mm-hmm. Bro, you're the Hulk expert. Hulk would cherry pick who he wanted to work with, because at the end of the day, bro, I don't know how many times I heard Hulk say this. I can make money with that guy. Yeah, bro, because that's what it's all about. That's why you should be in the wrestling business. And Hogan made sure, bro, from Bundy to Boss Man to John Studd to let's go down the line.
Savage, Earthquake.
Oh, my God. Bro, that's a pro. I don't think 90% of the wrestlers today even think that way, bro. I really don't.
And it's funny, Bundy was buddies with him, like, obviously, well before he passed, but he would say, like, Hogan was literally like, "I make money with you, big man."
Absolutely,
like, and all of a sudden he gets this big push, WrestleMania 2, and obviously a nice main event, everything else, but it's like, wow, such a smart, like, way of thinking. Like, I can make money with this guy. He's a scary monster.
And bro, I swear to God, man, you'll probably get the opportunity to interview Hulk again, because he knows, you're a big fan and you do the show every day. I would love to know what Hulk Hogan thinks. I know what he thinks. I would just love to hear him say it when he's looking at a guy like Gunther And then Gunther's going 50-50 with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Right.
Bro, I guarantee you Hogan would not want to work with that guy after that. I guarantee you. And he would be blowing a fit. Like, you want that guy to challenge me and he's going 50-50 with Sami Zayn? Bro, he wouldn't work with the guy. He wouldn't want to work. And bro, I bet you now, like the Brock Lesnar's is looking at a Gunther. Bro, remember Brock Lesnar a couple years ago didn't want to work with what's his name?
Bray Wyatt?
No, the champion for a couple of the
Kofi
Indian
Kingston?
guy. What's his name?
Oh, Jinder Mahal.
He didn't want to work with Jinder Mahal, remember? And that never happened, bro. They took Jinder out and they
wrestled AJ Styles.
Exactly. Yep. I guarantee you when Brock is sitting there watching Sami Zayn, kick out of Gunther's frog splash, because Brock's an old pro. He's been around for a while. He's like, I ain't working with that guy now. If Sami Zayn is kicking out of his frog splash, he's supposed to be a threat to me. But that's the problem, bro. They don't think that way today.
It is definitely an interesting way. You're right, though. Like Hogan would be like, no, Gunther's going to squash a bunch of guys. And then
exactly he would, bro. Those guys would be untouchable before they got to him.
And the great thing, someone interviewed him. I don't know, recently. He had like a CBD line or THC. He was coming out with something, and somebody interviewed him. And like, oh, what do you think of Roman Reigns? He's like, I could have made a lot of money with him, bro. Like, he's still thinking that. Of
course, that's that, bro. I'm sorry, man. Whatever your line of work you are in, 99.9% of us out here in the real world, we're in it to make money. I mean, period, end of story, bro. If I'm going to put all my time into this, then I need to make money and I need to pay the bills. Wrestlers today don't think that way, bro.
It's a very smart way of thinking. You got to think about business. Yeah, it's all about business. The wrestling business.
Yes.
All right. So the topic at hand is actually WWF No Way Out. No Way Out of Texas, 1998, in your house, February 15th, 1998, Houston, Texas. The Compaq Center, the attendance, 16,110. The buy rate, not good, 150K. Ouch. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, there, WCW had Super Brawl 8, Hogan versus Sting. 415,000.
Yeah, you got to look at that, bro. That's why, like, people always, the Meltzers and all these people. Bro, I went to the WCW when they were dying. That's why they hired me, bro. Right. So the first thing I need to do is lift the television ratings, because if you lift the television rating, everything is going to follow. But that's what they love to hold against me. Oh yeah, Vince started in September of 99, and look at the buy rate in October. Bro, again, man, people forget these pay-per-views were $50 back there, John. And a lot of times, kids, your parents are telling you, if they're letting you get one, bro, you get one. And of course you're going to get the hottest one. So yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. When you tell me what their main event was, of course you're going to watch WCW that month, bro.
And Starrcade 97 did over 700,000 buys. So this is the repeat. So it's all actually down from that, the rematch, but still 415 is a ton. And then when you guys have WrestleMania the next month, obviously you guys, I think, was 700 or 750. So you guys did really well for WrestleMania. It's just that this is No Way Out going up against the big Hogan Sting rematch. So, I mean, obviously you're going to get crushed by around 250, 300,000 K.
Right. Yeah.
Another thing that's interesting at this point is your role. Are you the head writer yet? Like, what is your role here? If
I'm the head writer, Savio Vega wouldn't have been in that match. So I am involved in the creative. I am giving my opinion, but of course Vince always had the final say. But bro, I will tell you, like 99% of the time, if I had an opinion, Vince would go with my opinion because we were rolling and it was working. Bro, I remember being adamant about Savio in that spot. And bro, let me tell you like two things. First of all, I love the guy. I love the guy to this day. I give him so much credit, bro, for the success of Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro, and working with Austin before he really became over. A lot of that was Savio. But, bro, this is what it always comes down with those in the bubble. To this day, they're making the same decisions. Here's what it comes down to. Savio's a great worker, so he'll fit right in there in the match. And I'm like, bro, I'm not arguing that he's a great worker. I know he's a great worker, but I also know the people at home are going to be saying Savio Vega. Nothing against the guy, but you can't replace a Shawn Michaels with a Savio Vega, bro. But like I said, John, inside that bubble, it always comes down to the best workers and the best match.
To me, I remember as a fan watching it, thinking like, "Wow, JR announces Michaels. Al, we kind of knew beforehand that he was injured from the casket match with the Undertaker. He had a really bad back. We didn't know if this was a work or not. Could he not make the pay-per-view? But we knew it wasn't going to be him in the main event. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, it's got to be a big name. Sid hasn't been around. It's got to be Sid. It's going to be a huge name that we haven't. It's somebody that they're quote unquote going to take out Austin before Michaels faced in WrestleMania, and then all of a sudden it's Savio Vega.
I agree a billion%, John. I hate. That's why I remember it, because I freaking hated it so much, bro. Hated it.
Whose idea, was it for Savio? Did you remember? Was it Bruce or was it Vince himself?
Bro, listen, was Austin in that match?
Yeah, so it's Austin, Owen Hart, Cactus Jack, and Chainsaw Charlie versus Triple H, Vega, and the Outlaws.
Yeah, bro, it's definitely Bruce. I would think Bruce first and foremost, but also, bro, I guarantee you Austin probably had something to do with that, because Austin knew I worked so many great matches with Savio Vega. It'll be a great match. I guarantee you. But bro, again, I would say first and forehand, definitely that's a Bruce Pritchard move. Definitely.
I will give JR credit on commentary for trying to say Vega had Austin's number. He wrestled him so many times. Smart move by Michaels. I'll give him credit, but I'm not buying it. You know what I mean?
I don't buy it to this day. And I love the guy. I love freaking Savio, bro.
Yeah.
Greatest worker on the planet. Like I said, bro, I always say, man, without him, I don't know, it might have been a different story with Austin. So I give this guy all the credit in the world, but in that role, it was a fart in church.
It's got to be, because Michaels is the champion. He's the main eventer. It's got to be somebody up to that level. Yeah. And when you throw it in Savio Vega, and especially as a mystery guy, not even tell us beforehand, it's going to be a mystery guy.
Terrible.
Not good, not smart.
Terrible.
And it was weird because you guys are kind of on a roll here after the Montreal Screwjob, then Royal Rumble, Tyson. Guys are kind of on a roll. And then this was wow, this is is this somebody else writing this stuff? What the hell? Where did this come from? This was strange.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%, bro.
Did you think that Michaels was legitimately injured at this point?
Bro, you know what? I never wanted to believe that Michaels was working the injury. I never, ever wanted to believe that. And quite frankly, bro, I never did until we got to that WrestleMania match. And with his bad back and this, that, and the other thing, he did that kip up. And I'm like, now, bro, I understand adrenaline. Understand adrenaline. But for the type of pain he said he was experiencing, adrenaline or not, I don't know how you would have been able to do that.
It is true. It is one of those things. Remember the year before at WrestleMania 13, he said he injured his knee really bad, and then he did a flip off the top rope, landed on his knee, and then he wiggled it like a joke. Look at he's like a great seller. So when it happens, you're like, oh shit, he's really hurt. And you think about it. But then you look at other circumstances, you're like, man, is he messing with everybody?
Yeah,
is he legit? Is he messing with Austin? Is he messing with Vince?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
That casket spot, you could see, yes, he definitely hit his back. But it's did he really knock something out of whack? Was it really bad, or was he kind of messing around a little?
Bro, let's not forget, the next pay-per-view is WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So he definitely is effing with Vince and putting the idea in Vince's mind of whether or not he's going to be able to wrestle at WrestleMania. Bro, who knows if he was holding him up for money?
Right.
I mean, who knows? But no question about it, bro, especially in an 8-man that to Shawn probably was not important. It's an 8-man.
Yep.
He is playing his hand going into WrestleMania, no doubt about it, bro.
And he sees Steve Austin as the number one guy now. I mean, there's no
Yes.
doubt about it.
Bro,
He's the
listen,
guy.
I've said this all the time, and this is where I definitely side with Shawn. I was working very closely with Shawn, bro, when they were at their lowest point, and he was the champion, and he was having his matches with Vader and all that stuff. I was working real closely with him, bro. He was working his ass off. He was doing everything the company told him to do, everything. And bro, when Austin came along and Austin started getting hot, I saw it. Vince kicked Shawn to the curb. I saw it with my own eyes. And that's what lit Shawn up, because he was like, man, when we were in the red and you were doing TL Hopper and all this other bullshit, and I was a champion and I was showing up at everything and I was being a good little employee, and now all of a sudden you got a new flavor of the month and you're going to shit on me. That's what it was all about, bro. And he was right. He was right. I saw Vince do it. He was right.
It's funny. He did the same thing with him, reversed with Bret Hart.
Right.
Kicked Bret to the curb, and Shawn was the new shiny toy.
Exactly. Yep.
So, I mean, he kind of knew what it was like on the other end, too, whether he wanted to admit it or not.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it just blows my mind, bro, that there are people working for Vince today that don't understand that. They don't understand it. Bro, the second Vince stops making money with you, he's done with you. He doesn't care who you are. Talk about it being a business, John, and making money.
yep.
As soon as he's looking at those numbers, he's done. He's done, and it's on to the next guy.
And it's funny, like Hogan and Warrior. He thought Warrior was the next guy. Like, okay, maybe not. Let's go back to Hogan for a little bit. Yeah. And then obviously then Hogan and Savage, quote unquote, were too old, and he would then try to get them out of the way. But man, like, whew, it happens like a circular thing. Austin and The Rock, even. Oh, The Rock is the next shiny toy. It just happens. Then Lesnar, then Orton, then Batista, then Cena. It just happens over and over and over for sure.
Yep.
So as far as the actual show is concerned, I'm just curious, was it a problem getting Owen Hart and Steve Austin's team in the main event given their prior issues? Was that any sort of thought or any sort of issue?
See, I don't know that, bro, because like obviously whoever was agenting the match would know that. But I would say no, bro, because like Austin was a pro. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like, see, there are two different scenarios. Like, Owen hurt Austin in a match, but like it was in a match. And, whether Austin thought that was on purpose or what, it still could have been an accident. Okay. On the other hand, though, I was there when Austin refused to work with Jeff Jarrett because Jeff went out there and made that comment about Austin 316. And
Blasphemous.
immediately in Austin's mind, now you're effing with my money. That's
just
also,
like your dad did. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm selling that shirt. Now so he flat out, don't ever book me against Jeff Jarrett. In this case, bro, where it could have been an accident and he had time to think about it, bro, at the end of the day, Austin was a pro's pro. Austin was not, I'm not going to work with this guy. I'm not going to work with that guy. Austin was a pro's pro. So yeah, I don't think there were too many issues.
So the first match, the Headbangers, Mosh and Thrasher defeated the artists formerly known as Gold Dust and Mark Merrow in a tag match in about 14 minutes. A little bit of a long match for an opener here, but it is funny that Luna and Sable are with Goldust, artistly formerly known as Goldust, and Mero, but Mero and Goldust are heels. Luna's a heel. Sable is definitely the babyface. So Mero kind of kicks her off and doesn't want her to be a part of the match because only one quote unquote beautiful lady can be out there at a time. And the crowd obviously is pissed because Luna's not that beautiful lady. It's Sable.
Bro,
But
Mero, especially like the wild man, bro. That was a Vince thing, bro, and like nobody ever understood that. But when he started doing the marvelous Mark Mero gimmick, bro, he was so underrated. I'm telling you, bro, because I go back and I review the Attitude Era now every 2 weeks. Mero had heat and he knew how to get heat. And it's like you were saying, bro, with Reigns getting these guys over. Bro, he knew how over he was getting Sable. He knew how over he was getting her. Bro, that dude is so freaking underrated during that time. It's not even funny, man.
really, really funny stuff and really kind of good creative here because like she's the husband, right? I mean, she's the wife and he's the husband, obviously. But it's like you think they would both be baby faces or they both be heels, but no, she's a baby face, one of the most popular acts. He's such a heel and he hates it. He can't stand it. He doesn't like that was really like a good idea. Was that something that you kind of were behind, like that
Yeah, but
storyline?
yeah, I did, bro. Yeah, I wrote like like I'd say all of their stuff. But again, bro, that's an organic thing. You know, I don't need to write that. You know that's going to happen, bro. You got a beautiful girl that is like your dream girl is married to a little dick. Like, come on, bro. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that stuff writes itself. You just have to, you got to give them material every week.
right.
But as far as them loving Sable and hating Mero, that stuff writes itself, man.
That'd be great because he'd have her come out in like a potato sack, and then he'd turn his back, and then she'd take it off. It has those handprints on there, and it would drive him nuts. And he hated that she was more popular than him. Really good stuff. Do you think that should have led to something bigger for him, or the fact that remember she once powerbombed him, or she kind of would get one up on him? Did that kind of almost kill his momentum?
See, bro, that's the thing. I guarantee you that was Mark's idea. I
Hmm.
guarantee you, bro. Mark was a very giving guy, and this was his wife. And bro, let's be honest again here, John. Let's be honest, because when we're talking about these old school guys, we are talking about it's a business to them. They're not Marks. It's a business. So, bro, Mero's married to Sable. The freaking money's coming into the same
Right.
household.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's putting over a total stranger. And bro, let's be honest, bro. The more she got over, then she got Playboy.
Yep.
I mean, Mero knows like the more I get her over, that money's coming back to the family, bro. So I guarantee you that see, bro. Now he took a lot of guff from the boys. How could you let, a woman, but
Right.
I guarantee you, bro, I guarantee you that was his idea.
So Sable comes back after he kicks her out, and when she comes back, she causes distraction, and that's why Goldust and Mero lose to the Headbangers. So even that's good too, because now he's going to be extra pissed because she just cost him a victory after he told her to leave.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I love Goldust at this point too, because if there's a guy, I know obviously everyone thinks of Austin or The Rock when you think of Attitude Era, but when you think of like real Attitude Era guy, like Goldust always pops in my mind just because he could do anything. Like he could be the
Anything.
weird androgynous guy. And in this match, he dresses up like Sable. Then he dating Luna. He dresses up like a baby at one point. You know what I mean? He could do anything. Is that like an awesome guy to have, like an MVP
Oh,
type character? Where he
absolutely.
just kind of floats.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. He was probably like the most adaptable guy on the roster. I mean, absolutely, bro. Having somebody like him is great to have on the roster.
I would just be like, wow, like he could be serious. Remember, he had that thing where he was talking about his dad, and
Yep.
he's like, oh, we don't talk anymore, and like all this thing, and then the next thing he comes out dressed like him. So it's like he can be like vicious and like nasty and mean, and then he could be a jokey guy, but then he could really play like a chicken shit heel. Then he could play like the psycho heel, like
Yep.
just real good range from him.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And believable. He's 6'6", 300
Yeah.
pounds or whatever. I mean, he's very believable too.
Yeah.
So then the next match probably going to be your favorite here. Taka Michinoku defeats Pantera in a singles match, obviously to retain his WWF
Yeah,
Light Heavyweight Championship.
I'm
10
not
minutes.
I'm not writing this show. Yeah, obviously I'm not writing this show, bro.
You're not a big fan of Taka Michinoku
Oh
or
no,
Pantera here.
the light heavyweights, bro. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. They're ripping off WCW again, bro. It's the good little worker mentality. I get it, bro, but I personally was just not a fan of it.
So, in order to get people kind of interested in this match or invested in this match, Sonny comes out and does the guest
Always.
commentating.
Yep.
So it always felt like, okay, it needs something. Let's bring out this gorgeous woman and maybe give it a little bit of a push.
We do it every week. I'm like I said, bro, going back to me watching the Attitude Era shows every week. She's timekeeper, like, every week. Put Sonny out there. Let's keep the eyeballs on it.
Brian Christopher is out there too. So it's like trying to create something with this division because obviously nobody really knows Pantera. They're not really familiar with Taka Michinoku.
Right.
So Christopher's kind of being like that heel, kind of stirring shit up, and Taka ends up getting the match, and then Christopher and Taka kind of get into it afterwards. So It's one of those things where I guess you're trying to get it interesting at least, where it's not just work rate wrestling match.
Absolutely. And bro, again, what it comes down to, again, I speak for the casual fans. What it comes down to with casual fans is they want to see wrestlers who look like wrestlers. That's what they want to see. That's what casual fans want to see. So it's nothing against these guys and their work or anything like that. I thought freaking Brian Christopher, had a great persona for wrestling. Obviously, Lawler's his dad, but especially back then, bro, they want to see wrestlers, and they didn't want to see that high flying stuff. And like I said, slowly but surely, that stuff took over the whole entire show. And what happened? You ran the casual fans off, bro.
It's I don't know. It's one of those things where they were definitely ripping off WCW.
Yeah, oh,
big
no
time,
doubt,
but
no doubt,
doing it
bro.
much not as well, obviously.
Absolutely, 1000%.
Next up, kind of a random tag match here. I know they were building on Saturday night, Shotgun Saturday night and different shows like that. But the Godwins, Henry O and Phineas I, defeated the Quebecers, Jacques and Pierre, in 11 minutes. Nothing great. Just almost felt like filler, waste of a match. Like they were trying to build a feud with them, but there was nothing really behind this feud here with the Godwins and the Headbang, or the Godwins and the Quebecers of all teams. And the Quebecers in the WWF in 1998 is kind of interesting too.
Yeah.
Because they were tag champs in 93, 94. It's just like, wow, 4 or 5 years later, they're still in WWF, or they came back to WWF.
Bro, I'm telling you too, like, first of all, the Godwins, great guys. I mean, great guys.
Awesome,
so everybody liked them. Everybody liked them, bro. Plus, on top of that, I think they had a little bit of favor because they were tight with Taker. So, they had a little bit of favor, and we were always making sure they were booked. Now, I hated the gimmick, the two rednecks, bro, freaking Henry Godwin would go out with the Confederate flag, bro.
yeah.
We got the slop bucket. That's all Bruce and Pat bullshit. I liked it much better when they were, what was it? Southern Justice. Yeah, man. And like, okay, now we come out, we got the suits on, the whole, like, I like that a lot better. But like I said, bro, there are guys like that you just want to get them on the card. You know what I'm saying, bro? Because everybody loves them. Like Dutch Mantel would say, they're good little hands. Obviously, they had favor with Taker, so Vince wanted to take care of them. But they were great dudes, bro.
I interviewed them not too long ago. They also said Michaels loved them because he would love going out to the bars with them, shit talking people, and then hiding behind them.
I'm sure, man. Absolutely.
Like, who's going to mess with those two? Yeah,
absolutely. I'm 1000% sure. Yeah,
especially with Nash and Hall and WCW. Like, he needs bodyguards. He needs guys to protect them.
Yep.
So next up, here's an interesting one, and I'd love to get your take on this. So Justin Hawk Bradshaw defeats Jeff Jarrett by disqualification. Jeff Jarrett was with his manager, Jim Cornette. So Hawk wins by DQ, but does not win the NWA North American Heavyweight Championship. The match goes 8 minutes, 30 seconds. Where did the idea for the NWA in 1998 come
I'll tell you exactly where it came from, bro. I got sick and tired of hearing Jim Cornette in creative meetings. Of literally wrestling needs to be NWA circa 1970. I got so sick and tired of him of hearing him that I literally was, okay, bro, let's do it so you can see for yourself. Literally, let's do NWA, bro. Bring in the president of them, Howard Brody, and all those people.
Yeah.
Let's do it, bro. So you yourself will see that is not going to be over in 1996, 1997. That's why, bro. That's I got so sick and tired of hearing, okay, bro, let's do it. Let's do it and see if it gets over.
Howard Brody, Dennis Carluzzo, like,
yeah.
No offense to those guys. Obviously, Dennis has passed. I don't know. Did Howard Brody pass? I'm not even sure, but
I think so, bro.
Maybe recently.
So, yeah.
But like nobody knows who they are. Like you couldn't get like Jim Crockett or I don't know somebody else like closely associated with the NWA. Like those guys are the
Cornette probably wanted those guys.
Oh wow, okay.
I guarantee you, Cornette probably wanted those guys.
But to me, it's like, wow, it didn't fit a 1998 Attitude Era.
Exactly.
Old school.
And I wanted to show him that, times had changed and this was not going to work.
Did Jarrett like this NWA idea, or was he just kind of going along with it?
He was going along with it, bro, because Jeff knows, like, it's TV time. It's TV time. And that's why I think Jeff was the first one to spin out of there when Tennessee Lee came in. Remember?
Yep. Yes.
Jeff spun out of there. But yeah, bro, I promise you, Jeff didn't like it, but it's TV time, man. And he's got a brand that he's got to go out there and promote. And he did it,
How does the NWA North American Championship, like, how does the WWF, is that just something that you guys purchased the rights to or something?
Oh, yeah. Cornette got those guys a payday. Whatever the agreement was, Cornette got those guys a payday.
Did Vince McMahon think this was going to work or no?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
So why did he want to do it? Like, why would Vince?
For the same reason I wanted to do it. Like, we would hear it every single week in creative. I'm telling you, bro, for that same exact reason.
Because to me, it's like, okay, Jeff Jarrett just came back. He's kind of the first guy to really jump back from WCW to WWF. It usually was everybody going the other way. Yeah, everyone was going to WCW, and there was like this big surprise. So Jeff comes back, obviously cuts that Austin blast.
But that had a lot to do with it too, bro. Keep in mind, he's really not in good favor with Vince at this point. You got to say,
because he goes from that, and Bradshaw's great, but he's not a main eventer. He's a mid carder at this point.
Right.
He's feuding with Bradshaw,
right?
And he's part of the NWA, so he was not in good favor at this point. You're saying,
Jeff,
yeah.
No, not with the heat he had with Austin. No.
It is interesting because it almost felt like, a big free agent finally got somebody from WCW.
Bro, I wrote Jeff's first promo when he came back and he cut that great promo. Bro, the only thing he changed or added was that 316 line. He put that. I did not write that, bro, because I knew that would have pissed Austin off.
Did you know he was going to say it?
No, bro, Jeff Jarrett was the kind of guy, bro. I think when your A game was your wrestling, like let's take Bret Hart, for instance. Let's take, Shawn, Jeff Jarrett, bro, the wrestlers tended to want me to write all their verbiage. And I think it's because they really wanted to concentrate on the match. And they trusted me. So while they're working out the match, Vince, you just tell us what we have to say. Bro, I would, more than anybody else I ever work with, I would write Jeff Jarrett's stuff verbatim because he wanted me to. And in this instance, I did not write that. And he put that in there. And I'm like, as soon as he said it, I'm like, bro, he's going to be pissed. And he was, and that would affect the way Jeff would be booked for the next few months.
Wow. So McMahon knew he was going to say it, though, right? He didn't just go out there and say whatever the hell he wanted to say.
Vince didn't know it.
So he almost was shooting, technically. Like, he's just going off the hip.
Absolutely he was. Yeah, bro, back then, Vince didn't know what they were going to say in their promos. It wasn't like today. But no, he did not know he was going to say that.
I'm surprised the writer, didn't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you should, did McMahon say anything to you? Like, hey, you got to give me a heads up here. What the hell was that? Or he didn't say anything.
I think he asked me if I wrote it. I think he asked me if I wrote it, and I said to him, I said, Vince, I wrote the promo. I did not write that.
Because there's that great story. I think Jeff actually mentions it. Austin goes to confront him, and Michaels steps in between, which is crazy. Michaels broke
Bro,
the fight up.
Austin's waiting for him backstage,
Right.
at the gorilla position. He's pacing, and I'm like, oh, bro, this. And, and Jeff's out there cutting the promo, has no idea what he's going to walk into. But that was it, bro. Austin was the kind of guy where if I say I'm never working with you, I'm never working with you, bro. I used to have the mentality, bro, that okay, let some time pass. Austin would, bro. The minute there was a script where Austin could see I might be going in that direction, he would get so hot at me and cut a bro. Like literally a year later, I told you I'm not working. He would never forget, bro. That's how Austin was. He would never forget, bro.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because obviously Jeff's a great worker.
Oh,
and a great wrestler.
of course, bro. Absolutely.
So the next matchup is a War of Attrition 8-man tag, which is interesting because the main event's an 8-man tag as well. But it's Ken Shamrock, Ahmed Johnson. Excuse me, this is, I guess, a 10-man tag. And the Disciples of Apocalypse, Chains, April, and Skull defeated the Nation Domination, The Rock, Farouk, D'Lo Brown, Kama Mustafa, and Mark Henry by submission in the War of Attrition match at 13 minutes and 45 seconds. Oof. This 10-man war here. What do you think about this? I mean, there's a lot of guys in there. It's just to get everybody on the card, or
yeah, this is a shit card, bro. Let's just face it. I mean, I'm not surprised it did 150 views, whatever it did. This is an absolute shit card. Part of the reason, bro, is because they're probably focusing on WrestleMania. I mean, they're probably looking at this as a throwaway pay-per-view. Bro, you're not having a 10-man and an 8-man if it's not a throwaway pay-per-view. So this is a throwaway pay-per-view basically to get us to WrestleMania.
Shamrock taps out The Rock, who's the Intercontinental Champion, to win, which obviously is going to help lead into their WrestleMania match. The Rock and Farouk have words afterwards. The Rock actually kind of pushes him and walks out and basically says whatever, but they end up doing the fist with the Nation of Domination afterwards. But it's interesting, teasing The Rock and Farouk are having issues. The Rock just tapped out to Shamrock, so he's frustrated, which makes Shamrock obviously the number one contender for the IC title.
And bro, think about, what we're talking about, bro. Think about all these key guys. Like I said, bro, Savio Vega had a lot to do with Austin getting over. Ken Shamrock had a ton to do with The Rock getting over. So these little feuds beforehand is really setting up the bigger things to come.
The Nation, Rock, Farouk, D'Lo Kama, and Mark Henry. Obviously, Farouk would end up going, and The Rock becomes the leader of the group. You like it better as a 4-man group rather than 5? Or is 5 too many guys?
Yeah, because the more people you add, bro, the odds increase that somebody's getting lost in the shuffle. Yeah.
I do love the Rock Farouk feud too, because you could see even with the promos, like, okay, the Rock is. I mean, Farouk's awesome. I love Ron Simmons, but you could see the Rock is ascending to that next level.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Yep.
So then, after Shamrock taps out Rock, we go to the next match. Kane with Paul Bearer defeats Big Van Vader, aka Vader, in 11 minutes here. Okay, match. Vader tries to attack him before the match. Kane actually ends up attacking Vader after the match and sends him out in a gurney. So Kane gets not only a big win here, but a decisive. I just injured Vader, who's a obviously gigantic man and somewhat of a big star. Really pushing Kane towards his match with the Undertaker at WrestleMania. Do you like kind of a not squash, but a definite exclamation point win for Kane?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, bro. And again, that's why, I'm looking at this card and I'm looking at what's booked, and it's all building to WrestleMania, bro. And Kane and Taker were a big part of that, and where literally, Taker had been built for years at this point. So we're literally now trying to build Kane. Again, bro, at the beginning of the show, we talked about Gunther. This is how you build a heel, bro. You build a heel the way Kane was built, bro. He was untouchable at that point. And just really building a WrestleMania.
Funny, Vader uses the fire extinguisher and a power bomb during the match. So he's like, "Oh shit, this is Vader doing this to somebody." Kane basically kind of no sells it and grabs him by the throat, and ends up choke slamming him and just finishing him with the tombstone. But it's
Yeah.
one of the things where it's like, wow, he no sold that stuff from Vader. Wow, just
Yeah.
because obviously they're building him up for Undertaker.
Exactly. Now compare that to Sami Zayn kicking out of Gunther's frog splash.
Yeah, shouldn't happen.
So, yep.
So then we have the main event of the evening. It is a non-sanctioned match, which they announced earlier in the night. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Owen Hart, Cactus Jack, and Chainsaw Charlie defeated Triple H, Savio Vega, and the New Age Outlaws of Billy Gunn and Road Dogg with China in 17 minutes and 30 seconds. Man, I don't know. Like, it was a good match, decent match, but man, with Vega being replaced for Michaels, no matter how good the match was, it just felt like it was on a
I
level
agree.
below where it should have been. Like, it
Bro,
wasn't a
I'm not
good
I
main event
I
for like
ain't I'm
promoting
not
Mania.
I'm not defending this at all, bro. I agree 100%. But like I said, bro, and the WWE is still that way today. Inside that bubble, they look at who's the best worker. That's what they look at, bro. The only time that really changed was during the Attitude Era. We Ed and I never looked at that because we assumed if JR signed these guys, they're good workers.
Right,
I mean,
right.
period. End of story. With JR, they would not be on this roster if they weren't good workers, bro. So we assumed that they were good workers, but the characters and the storyline, the storyline superseded that.
So Austin pins the Road Dogg for the win, then pins Billy Gunn afterwards. Good match, but obviously it's all like, okay, Austin and Vega. Triple H is fighting Owen at WrestleMania. The Outlaws are going to fight Cactus Jack and Terry Funk, aka Chainsaw Charlie.
Was Vince involved in this anyway? Vince?
No, nope.
Okay.
China, though, gets involved. And at the end, she kind of pushes Austin. Austin's like, come on, get out of my way. So she gives him the finger, and then he stunners her too.
That's
so,
it. Yeah. Send everybody home happy, bro. Exactly. Yeah.
So it's funny. It's like Road Dogg gets beat up, Billy Gunn gets beat up, she gets beat up, and the crowd goes happy.
Send everybody home happy. This was no doubt about it, a throwaway pay-per-view. All the focus is on WrestleMania. But again, bro, you're seeing the politics of Shawn pulling out and now leaving a doubt in Vince's mind. That kind of gives Shawn the upper hand. You're seeing it all play out, bro,
It's one of those things where it leads you to WrestleMania, but then there's questions like you're saying with Michaels and Austin. So it's like it's leading to WrestleMania, but it's like, man, I wish could have been better. Like a better lead up to Mania for sure. You're on the track, but it's just like, it's kind of going off the rails a little.
I agree 1,000,000,000%, John. You are dead on about this pay-per-view.
Austin versus Michaels, obviously with Tyson as the referee, the whole thing with Tyson and Austin. I mean, that just it blows up, and that just becomes just a huge thing for you guys, and that just creates the momentum for the April. I think it's April 13th, '98 Raw, which I was at, where Vince says he'll wrestle Austin. Austin goes, "I could beat your ass with one hand tied behind my back."
I just reviewed that show, and that was Nassau Coliseum.
Really?
Yeah, Nassau
Coliseum. I thought it was Philly.
Oh, maybe Nassau was the week before.
Yeah, no, because I was going to say I was there. It's Philly, yeah.
Okay. But Dude Love comes out at the end.
Yes.
No, bro. I just reviewed that on Russo's,
and that's the first time in 83 weeks. This would be the 84th week WWF finally wins.
And how did we set that up? We set that up by Mick Foley saying you're never going to see Cactus Jack again. Remember, bro, me and Terry Funk were out there.
You cheered him.
Man. And then, see, bro, everything went somewhere. And then here you are 2 weeks later, Austin McMahon, and here comes Dude Love, man. It was, everything meant something, bro.
And everything Vince did leading up to it, like, oh, you could be the champion for me, my world champion, corporate champion, like everything, and him taking the picture, him hitting the balls, like leading up, like I'm gonna, and then Vince is jacked, but it's like, wow, Vince is gonna wrestle, what?
Yeah.
Great stuff.
And Vince was so great, bro, because like Austin was pissing him off so badly that with Patterson and Briscoe, he's now convincing himself that he could beat Austin.
Right. Yes.
Just
Yes.
so good. See, bro, those are the performances that ain't Vince Russo writing the stuff like
Right.
that. Those are the performances where you could just see in Vince's face that he's convincing himself more and more that he could take Austin. Great stuff, bro.
And his voice or like his inflection is great because he goes, "You said you could beat me with one hand tied behind your back." Like he just gets like so into it. Yeah.
So good. And Patterson and Briscoe was so freaking good, man.
So this pay-per-view is like thumbs
No,
in the
not
middle
even
kind of thing.
big thumbs. I would not have paid for this pay-per-view. Yeah.
A friend of mine did, but we watched it over there. We're
Yeah,
expecting Sid or some sort of big surprise and
Yeah.
it didn't happen. Yeah.
Sucks. Bad. But like I said, I mean, at this point, though, John, all the eggs are in the WrestleMania basket.
Now, before we wrap it up and hit the plug, just one random quick question for you that came in. I guess we missed it or we didn't ask you about it, but the Undertaker's title reign in 97. So going back to 97, remember he beat Sid at WrestleMania. Then he had a match over Austin, which the Hart Foundation were kind of involved in. He wins. He beats Farouk. He beats Vader. Did you like his title reign? Like, what did you think about Undertaker as the world champion in 97? You guys are getting your ass kicked.
Well, yeah. Well, a guy like Undertaker never needs to be the world champion. I mean that's the he never did he need to be the world champion, and he probably, bro, was a placeholder. But you can't have somebody like the Taker as a placeholder. You know what I'm saying, bro? He's not the placeholder type of champion. Like Sheamus is a placeholder champion, not Undertaker. But, at that point, bro, I don't know. Again, like I said, so Taker, who beat Shawn? Who took the belt off Shawn?
Nobody. He lost his smile and gave it up in that final four, and Bret Hart won, and then Sid beat Bret thanks to Austin.
Yeah, so that right there, bro, the fact that he lost his smile, that kind of throws a monkey wrench into things. And now the dominoes are out of place, and you just got to try to make sense out of shit. It doesn't surprise me at all. Vince goes with The Undertaker. Bro, it was much like me at WCW with Jeff Jarrett. I went with Jeff Jarrett for two reasons, bro. He's a great worker. He never got hurt, ever. He was a great heel that could get baby faces over. So when the chips are down and all of a sudden there's a unexpected change of plans, Vince going with Taker as the number one choice does not surprise me at all.
All right, let's hit the plugs. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at 2Man Power Trip. Check out the website, tmptempire.com. Vince, what do you got?
Yeah, guys, just go to russosbrand.com. That will take you every place you need to go.
All right. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening. We'll see you next time right here on the podcast. We'll see you then, folks.